what is ERP and what is SAP at first point, and then we can move on to basis actually. So,
Okay.
ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning actually. So, in nutshell, if you ask, for example, if you have an organization and which is comprising of too many departments, for example, like there will be procurement department, there will be production department, there will be material management department, and if you consider, for example, if your organization is a small one, you can manage all three departments in using standalone softwares. You know what I mean, right? For example, procurement department can be done through some web interface tools, right? I mean, most of the things are done through online. And for example, the same thing with material management or production planning, anything. And if and for example, if you wanted to do the same way for bigger organizations, like multinational organizations which are huge in size, and there will be multi-million transactions, in that case it would be hard for any basic software to completely manage them in a very efficient way. So to overcome this, we talk about something called ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning. So basically what it does is it will help seamless integration between all the departments, and higher transparency. Basically, it will help you. Everything will be done in a streamlined manner. Okay. For example, let me help you with another slide. I just paused my screen sharing. I'm pulling out another. Okay. All right. It's okay. I'll just get back to the same thing. Okay. It helps you with the seamless integration, and each and every department in that particular organization can be communicated in a better way. In the sense, like for example, if you don't have a ERP and each of these departments are having standalone software, so what's happening in one department will not be able to share the complete information which is having with the another department, and the communications won't be that great. And there will be a lot of confusions, and there will be mismatch of data. For example, if we take to choose ERPs, right, everything will be in a very transparent way. For example, if you are running out of stock from the production side, and procurement team won't be aware of that thing. So end of the day, what happens? They'll not be able to see what exactly is required in the production team, and that will not be able to give in a proper way from the procurement team. For example, if the customer is expecting one product at the end of this month, and procurement team thinking there will be an assumption like whatever the required products and whatever the required raw material is already available in the production team. And what exactly is happening? So procurement team should be aware of what is the requirement of that product. Are you understanding what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
Okay. So, yeah. So these kind of misinformation matches won't be, happening if you are having a proper communication between each of these individual departments within the same organization. So this can be achieved through any enterprise resource planning. So properly, you're doing resource planning within your enterprise. That's called an enterprise resource planning. In a nutshell, this is in a nutshell. If you want me to talk about enterprise resource planning, there's still a lot, but in an overview, this is the basic introduction of ERP. And before coming into SAP, SAP is one of the enterprise resource planning product actually. Okay. Other than SAP, there are other ERP packages which we actually don't need to know. There is one other ERP package from Oracle, there is one ERP product from Microsoft, and SAP is one of those products actually. SAP is one of the most efficient ERP package if you want me to say, because since I'm working in SAP, I would actually say like SAP is one of the best ERP products. And so what is SAP stands for? Systems, Applications and Products. Actually, it's a German term, so which we actually don't need to know. And what is BASIS actually do in that is BASIS deals with the administration of the activities which you perform in SAP, or which everyone else performs in the SAP. For example, have you heard about tier architecture, 2-tier architecture and 3-tier architectures?
No.
Okay. SAP, it's a 3-tier architecture basically, and all the rest of the applications are not 2-tier architecture. What does 3-tier architecture talks about? 3-tier architecture talks about there are basically 3 layers in 3-tier architecture. There will be like a presentation layer, application layer, and database layer. Due to this, what happens? The performance of the particular software will be very, seamlessly smooth, and there won't be any performance issues with the 3-tier architecture. For example, if you take any other software, for example, if your organization is using Java, Java is not a 3-tier architecture. For example, if you have any kind of problems in your database level, so ultimately what happens? Even the front-end functionality will also be kind of hampered. So to avoid that, SAP works on a 3-tier architecture. For example, if you have any issues with the front end, but that will not affect the other layers of the architectures. So, for example, if you have any issues in the production planning department, in one of the departments in your organization, and if you are using the same, if you are not using an ERP package, and there is a great chance even the database might be in a trouble state, which will affect the other departments within the same organization. So using 3-tier architecture, we can avoid these kind of redundancies. You got any brief idea like what I'm talking now? Yes. You can ask me questions anytime, because these are the most basic. So if you get a brief idea about what is ERP and what is 3-tier architecture, it will be very easy for you going forward.
Yeah, right now I don't know.
Yeah, this is actually high-level picture of an ERP. Can you see my screen, right?
Yes, I can see.
Now you can see. For example, see, you have like different departments in your organization: accounting, HR, delivery, sales, purchase. Without ERP, everything is controlled through ERP. Whatever happening in purchase department would be able to be known by accounting team. At the same time, production. If there is no ERP, there won't be any connections. Everything will be like individual department, but within the same organization. Which as you can see, it will integrate different departments in one place. So why do you think integration is required? In an organization? I mean, you can come up with your own way. Or else if you want me to talk, I can go ahead. So why do you think what is the requirement for integration in any organization? Do you really think integration is required in any organization?
Yeah, of course, it should be systemized, I think.
Yeah. So this seamless integration is possible, and in a very effective way can be done in ERP, any ERP package. So this is done in a best way in SAP actually. So these are the different portfolios within SAP. You can see, right?
Yes, I can see.
So SAP ERP is what we are trying to talk about. This is the one what we are trying to talk about. And these are different products of SAP. For example, CRM is customer relationship management, HRM is supplier relationship management, which we can talk in coming days. Currently, we'll be mostly concentrating on SAP NetViewer, and SAP NetViewer basis is part of the SAP NetViewer. And basis actually talks mostly about how well we can manage these products, rest of these products.
Mm-hmm.
So now see, here you can see the different expansions of each of these. This is the one which we are actually discussing.
Okay.
So just a while ago, I was explaining you about the integration, right? This can be done in this way.
Mm-hmm.
So these are like, since this is a demo session, I'm not able to get deep about each and everything. So I'm going to pause the screen sharing for a moment. Is that fine? I'm trying to pull out another slide which can help you understand in a better way.
Yeah, that last few screens was way so far, so fast. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing there, right? No.
I actually stopped actually sharing. I'm trying to pull another slide which actually talks more about ERP. You should be able to see my screen now, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right
So
now.
this is, yeah, now you should be able to see. Previously, before introduction of ERP, this was how the organizations were run. You know, I'll tell you. So I have a couple of questions for you. What is your idea on SAP basis? Like, why did you choose basis? Like, you must be having some basic idea about basis, right?
Yes, I have some only like general idea, not
Mm-hmm.
too deep one.
Okay, so what according to you is called basis? Like, maybe based on that we can start our discussion.
Yeah, honestly, I know this is a German product.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and
Um, uh,
yeah, yes, some organization working like using this system.
Okay. So, yep, and I'll add more to that. You're absolutely right. And apart from, uh, administration, bases are the one who are responsible for setting up. For example, if any organization is trying to implement SAP, it's the responsibility of the basis to build that particular system. For example, basis person or basis administrator are the one who are responsible for installing the database. For example, as I told you, SAP is a three-tier architecture. So the bottom layer will be the database layer. So it's one of the responsibilities of the basis administrator to set up the database, which is essentially used for storing of all the data, the business data, and it is the responsibility of that particular basis administrator to set up the front end also. So SAP runs in three parts. So can you see my screen now?
Yes, I can see.
Yep. So this is the basic, any organization, irrespective of what of the software you use, this is the basic typical landscape. For example, can you see?
Yes.
So what do you basically understand by this diagram? So based on that I can add. So for example, this is your production system, right? If you are trying to implement any new thing, we will not be in a position to if you are trying to change anything, we will not be able to do anything straight away in production, right? So initially we'll be doing in sandbox, or for example, if your work is still under R&D, for example, if your work is still under research, you won't be able to do it straight away in production or development. So you will be starting off with a sandbox. Sandbox is something you wanted to. It's like what are the groundwork you wanted to do, what are the research you wanted to do, you can do that in sandbox. Once you're confident that whatever the changes you are trying to implement are, or if the code is finalized, you can start doing that in the development, right? Development or build, and then the changes will be moved to QA, where users will be able to do the testing. Initially, you will be the one who doing these changes in development, and then they will be moved to QA. This is quality box, and then you have moved these changes, and you wanted these changes to see how they will be working once they are in production. Irrespective of whatever the module you are, this is the standard landscape which we follow across all the organizations in SAP, irrespective of SAP or whatever the technology we use. So this is the basic landscape for any ERP. So there will be three boxes basically: development, QA, and production. Because we cannot be in a position to implement any new things in production directly, right?
Yeah.
So we'll be interested to see if the changes what we have did are working perfectly or not. So for that, to solve that purpose, we'll be doing that in QA, in quality systems. Quality systems, which are again how they are built, they will be the mirror copies of the production systems. So whatever the functionality which we are going to test should be replicated in production. So you got what I'm trying to say, right?
Yes.
So these talks about what we actually do in each of these individual developments. So in quality assurance, do you want me to explain each and everything about these development systems, or more idea about SAP, or the overview about basis?
Yeah, maybe more in general, because here is
yes,
like
yes.
the streaming tools or some particular.
Yes, yes. So yeah. This is actually the actual flow. Initially, you will be doing all your research and analysis will be done in the sandbox. Once you are aware of what you are going to develop or what you are going to implement, will be done in development, and then they will be moved to QA, and then these changes will be given to the end users. Like who are, for example, we are not the ones who will be using these things in production, right? It will be end users. It will be the customers. So we will be replicating limited set of users who will be representing as customers, and we will be selecting them, and we'll ask them to do the same testing what they are going to do in production. These will be done here, here in this particular box. Once they are done, once they are satisfied that okay, this is what we wanted in production, these will be moved to production. So adding to this, in SAP terminology, these things are done. For example, you have done your changes in development system, and you are trying to move those changes to QA, right? Quality. These changes are moved in the form of transports, and it is the prime responsibility of the basis administrator to take care of these transports. And development team will be doing their changes in this development box, and they will be binding them into something called transport in SAP terminology. For example, whatever the changes they have done, they will be binded together, and they will be moved to another system through transports. This terminology is exclusively for SAP. In SAP terminology, we talk about moving of changes in the form of transport, and it is one of the prime responsibility of the basis administrator to take care of the transport, and that is called transport management system, STMS. It's also called STMS. It is also one of the important topics for any basis administrator. Transport management is one of the prime topics. I just close that one. Let me open another presentation for you.
Okay.
I have some trouble with my internet connection. For some reason, I'm not able to share. You cannot see my screen, right?
No, I cannot.
Yeah, yes, yes. Yes, now you should be. So, you can see my screen now, right?
Yes, yes.
So actually, KDM 100 is a course which you are actually supposed to know. If you wanted to be a basis administrator, ADM 100 is like Bible for any basis guy, any basis person. And I'll walk through the contents which you actually required to understand so these are these are the prime topics which you will be completely talking by the end of your course or before starting of your job as a basis administrator. So I'll give you like brief introduction about each and every topic, and so since we'll be working on this course, so I have taken this one instead of taking any some random presentations. I hope that will work. So we have spoken a bit about architecture of SAP system and the process of SAP log on. At this point, I would like to skip because I'll be able to show you if I have some live system before you. And since this is all a theory session, so I would like to skip this particular topic. And as a basis administrator, this is also one of the important topics. We should be in a position, starting and stopping of any SAP system. It's the job responsibility of the basis administrator. System, you should be the one monitoring like how the system is being working, and if there are any error logs, likewise if there are, for example, even in any Windows PC, there will be logs, right, to monitor what exactly are the system events. So likewise, even in SAP, every activity in SAP, is being logged. Every activity in SAP is being logged. I can hear echo actually. I'm not sure why. Sriram, are you online? Can you mute your system, please? Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, can you mute for a while because I can hear the echo.
You talking to me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hello? Hello?